Welcome back to another one. Out in the garage working on a wintertime project. I had some clips of this before and I must have deleted them, or I don't know, I don't know what happened to them. They're not on the hard drive and not on here, but still I haven't posted the video from it because I've been not completed with it. So I've been working on this for a little bit of time, but now that it's winter, it's long overdue and it should have been done before the winter or even last winter. If you didn't know, we have 2 horses. My wife has a horse and she got my daughter a horse. We keep them over at my dad's place, and they if you have any livestock or animals that you have outside, you know how, and you live in the Midwest or anywhere it gets cold, you know how the chores can be in the winter. And worst of all is trying to keep water to them or keep water thawed out for them. So we looked into it, and instead of buying something for this, or and plus if you buy it, you'd have to get electricity down there, and just something we're not really wanting to do. So, and they make versions of these you can buy, but I said they're still $600, $700, $800 or more, if not more, and hard to find, hard to come by, or they need 12 volts at least to run on some of them. So I've decided to build one. It's a stock tank heater to be able to keep that water thawed out, or at least to thaw it out when it does become froze. It's an old water heater that came out of my house. Well, it's probably been 5 or 6 years now that I took it out, and it's been in the basement. Thought about making a wood stove out of it, and of course, if you have seen the videos, you know that we have the wood furnace. You don't really need a wood stove, so it still sat there. So the summer I started working on it, or spring maybe, a little bit, and kind of got it designed a little bit and started putting it together. It had a leak in it, so we had to patch it. I welded a patch on the bottom there, patched the hole. I just put air to it and got everything sealed off and pressurized it. Made sure to hold air and sprayed soapy water on it to find the holes. And welded a few holes up, the leaks, pinhole leaks that were in it. I sealed up all the ports on it. One of the ports on the side, which was actually where the tank heat or the element was at, one of the elements, and I put an elbow on the outside with a pipe comes up just for, that's air intake. Cut the tank down and used the top to make the lid, and then used an old basketball hoop pipe, stand pipe for it for the for a chimney. If this isn't tall enough, this stands about 6 foot, a little over 6 foot, about 6'1" or so. It's not quite as tall as I am. I'm 6'2", so I'm guessing probably 6'1" or so. If that's not tall enough, I do have more sections that can go on top of here, but I'm gonna make a cap, chimney cap for the top of this, just with a piece of tin kind of made out of a cone, and maybe just bolt it on or something there, and then do something similar to on the air intake, just to keep from rain stuff getting down and all the water down in there. It's not perfectly airtight or sealed around the top, which hoping with the chimney you should pull that smoke out the top there. Take the lid over here for you. For the lid, I of course cut that top down off there, and then I cut a ring off of the tank, or the rest of the tank, and welded it on the inside here just as a lip to help catch that, so that'll hold it in between, lined up there. It's not perfect, like I said, tank's not perfectly round. Now that we cut the support off the top, I could weld support members across there to help it, but I don't think that I need it really. So of course sealed up the other ports on there, just put nuts in there and welded them up, got them sealed up just to hopefully everything comes out the chimney. I did let me get a flashlight here. I put a 50 pound bag of saccrete or concrete for a weight in there to help hold it to the bottom, to keep the buoyancy out of it. And then I welded that's a hose barb pipe fitting that goes in there, threaded in that fitting there, and then I welded it on the outside. Before I welded this piece on, before I welded this right here on, I welded on the inside there just so it can't unscrew. Not that it's really going to go anywhere, not that it really matters, but I thought about angling that down a little bit maybe or something, but I think it'll work where it's at just to get some fresh air in there. But I kind of want the air and the fresh air in the bottom underneath the fire or down to the base of the fire. And just gonna use some scrap lumber or waste, you know, waste stuff. We got trees over there that we cut down out of the ditch and cleaned up the ditch. A bunch of small sapling trees we cleaned up, and gonna cut some of that stuff up just into handful sticks and stuff that you will light in here, and just use stuff like that. I will probably add later on a like oil burner system to it, and I'll just drill a hole through the side, run a piece of copper tubing down in there, and put a brake drum in there, and just put an oil drip on there just to run either diesel or waste oil or mix of both, just to make it a little easier than having to find sticks all the time to be able to light them, and then you can run it for longer. Like this weekend we're probably going to want something longer than that, or have to stock it a couple times to get it really thawed out. They're talking -7 for a high on Sunday here in just 4 days. So figured it's time to get this project started or finished up. So come out to weld or finish up. I got the air intake welded on and got the rest of the ports plugged up. I got to look around and find a hinge. I have a hinge, an older hinge that I'm going to take and I'm going to weld it on here on the side to be able to just tip that over to be able to get inside there, rather than have to lift that up and take it off, because once you get that fire started it's going to be smoky and that you just want to tip this back up and close that lid up. So it's not perfectly sealed, you can see the air gaps and stuff, but I'm thinking with the chimney it should help draw that air out. And if not, might figure something else out later. But when I put that hinge on, I'm going to make a little locking system somehow to be able to lock this down just so it can't get tipped over so easy. And I got to take these, find an Allen wrench for that and take these off just so they're not there, so you don't get cut by it, or the horses don't get cut by it, and then weld that hole up. I'm going to get my tin out and start cutting that, make my cones for my chimney caps and that, and get this finished up tonight so I can take it outside and just light it up to make sure it works. Hoping that it helps with the winter water problems, you know, here in the Midwest. It's all fun and games until it gets cold. So I'll make a follow-up video afterwards, or I'm sure my dad will too. I'm sure he'll make one. Maybe I'll just direct you to his channel if he makes one afterwards, after he puts it in use and uses it. I said I'll get it over there here in the next day. Want me either tomorrow or Friday. Get it over there and get it set up and be able to light it up and hopefully get it down in there. There's some ice on the top of it now, but should be able to get the ice broke free and get this down in there to be able to get it working. But figure I'd show you my my solution to the problem. Said it was too cheap to go buy it to do it when I can make it myself. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.